So today I'm going to explore a little project I'm putting together to test out whether I can use AI to build a fully fledged product application. Um, so just to give you an intro, this site here that I've put together is something that I built with Replit. I initially did some of the homepage design in V0, but then quickly jumped into Replit when I realized V0 wasn't going to build any real functionality. It was fine for doing things like, okay, pinning a header or changing transparency of the header on scroll, but beyond that, I couldn't really get any further with V0. So I jumped into Replit and started building out this concept for a dividend investing tracker. So I could track my portfolio, calculate what sort of returns I would get, um, possibly get recommendations, AI-powered recommendations on stocks from based on the dividend stocks I picked. And slowly over time, I've been able to build out functionality for each part. It gets stuck sometimes, but so far so good. And we'll go through some of the places that get stuck, and we'll do some testing as well to see how it gets stuck. So this is actually the Replit project. You can see here, I've just finished adding a privacy policy and you can see here I've logged in this one. So you can log in and log out. And if I go home, it shows me something different here when I'm logged in. So here I'm not logged in, and it's giving me the features, the pricing, and then the calculator. And then when I'm logged in this version I'm logged in for testing sake, it's giving me links to go to my portfolio or analyze a stock. And that's some changes I've made to try to get it to be more like a finished, polished product. Now, if I go into view portfolio, you can see here it allows you to save off portfolios. So if I put one in here and call it testing Replit, and let's make it Australian dollars, I create the portfolio. There it is there, testing Replit. So let's look at this one here. There's all the holdings. It's showing me the dividend yield. I can delete them. I can edit them. And I can add something new if I want to. Let's say Visa. It fetches the stock price. There we go. And I want to put 100 stock. And add that to the holdings. Oop, there it is there. And it puts them in alphabetical order by the looks of things. So if I go back to view portfolio, you can see here we've got view dividend schedule. This is a feature I'm working on where it gives me a calendar of what dividends are coming up depending on my holdings in that particular portfolio. It's showing me 2 there. And if I switch to list view, it's showing me, okay, I'm getting that from Visa, I'm getting this from Realty. But I don't want it to display it separately, so let's put in this prompt here to see if I can now move this button into this area so it's more related to where I'm doing my portfolio management. Let's see what it does. Oh, gotta hit resume. So I gotta give it a second. It's thinking. And you can see here it's done quite a bit of work. These are actually screenshots I've uploaded in my instructions in some cases, but there's a lot of work in here. And I think it would take absolutely ages to do this with a team and do it in the conventional sense. Like it would at least take 3 months to build what I've done here in a couple of days on weekends and in spare time. I think it would take a very long time. So it's telling me it's moving it. Searching for portfolio details page. Let's see if it gets what I meant. Oh, there it is there. Should be able to find it. And occasionally it creates some errors and you have to debug, and you can get it to do debugging, but you got to be really explicit in your instructions. Otherwise, you could get stuck going around in loops for ages. And as you can see, it gives you this rollback point just in case something is wrong. So it's asking whether it's reachable. Let's reload. So if I go view portfolios, this is a dividend calendar now showing there. Let's go into here. Yep, it's done it. So I'll tell it yes. Yes, it's working. There we go. See what it does next. Okay, it's told me it's done it. It's working. What can we do next? Now, there are other things I would have liked it to do, but it didn't do them. Like it's left this button here, which goes here. But it's best not to tell it that when you're answering on the other task, because it can get overloaded and stuck in a loop. It'll understand the command, it just won't talk properly. So let's now ask it to remove the view details. Remove the secondary view details button from the portfolio cards in the, what page are we on? Portfolio tracking page. Let's see if it does it properly. Now, what you should do is actually put in more accurate descriptions with quotations if it's a button or something. Otherwise, it might get it wrong. And also, there are some functions that just simply don't work no matter what I do. Like, I can't get this deletion function to work, and I tried for ages. But that's something I could probably talk to the developer about, or troubleshoot and find a solution. From my discussions with developers, they've basically said you'd have to rebuild a lot of this because a lot of the code in here is not understandable for a human. And if you write a prompt to say, please make this editable by a front end or back end developer, or I'm going to hand this over to a front end back end developer. Can you clean up your code, get rid of any redundant code, and get this ready for deployment? It will crash. Like it will just go around in loops, create an even bigger mess, because I tried that, and crash. But it is very practical for you to be able to build an application, launch it, because you can deploy it here. Launch an application, see if it works, see if you get some traction. And then once you've got your proof of concept out there working, deal with the technical debt you've created and build parts of this in a conventional way. So let's see if the button has been moved now. Go to portfolio. Oh, it's removed the button, but it's removed the wrong button. Oh God. Okay, so we'll roll it back and fix that later, or I could just change the styling of that button. So if I go back, make this a primary button rather than a secondary, that would work too. If I go over here to my calculator, this is very cool as well. Let's say you want to SCHD, you want to check. I should reply to it, but I'll do that in a second. You want to check whether your investment's going to perform well over a certain amount of time. You can add a stock, add an amount. Now, this isn't rendering properly because I'm viewing it in this small window. If I do this, we look at the bigger version, the full version, and I'll try SPHD, 100 stocks. It's adding the calculation to my initial investment. Let's say we're going to invest another $1,000 a month and conservative price growth over 10 years. And because I'm not logged in, I can't select the portfolio, but if I log in, it'll let me add it to a portfolio later. If I calculate, it's giving me figures on how it will perform over that time and showing me the distribution of funds for, I think, each month, but I'm not sure because for some reason it goes up to 40. Now, I'm sure there's problems with this investment timeline because if I go 20 years and hit calculate, guess what? Oh no, it's going up to 80 now. That is really weird. So I don't understand why 80. I don't know, maybe someone can enlighten me in the comments, but like if it's months, it doesn't add up to 80, that's for sure. I don't know, maybe I'm missing something. The share function works, it gives you a link. You hit reset and it resets everything. If I'll do it on the signed in version here, I can actually go and select one of these portfolios and add it. Save the portfolio. That's saved. Go to the portfolio, check it. There's that entry. Doesn't show me the dividend yield, but it should. This is also a bit buggy, so I need to see if it refreshes it after a while. If I go back in, sometimes it does. But yeah, it's giving me. Oh, there it is. Just took a bit of time. There's the yield. So yeah, that's the core functionality built. I'll answer it now. Yes, but the button styling needs to be fixed to match. Let's see. That's primary. Ooh, I don't know. And by the way, I do a lot of typos. It still gets it. This seems to be fine. Let's see if it fixes that. It's having a think. That's another thing. I added in all of these currencies or currency conversion. It will show you the currency that it's set the portfolio up in, but it doesn't actually convert anything. So it's another one of those things I'll need to dive into and give it that extra detail. I asked it to have a currency switcher. It didn't understand the implications of that, so I would have to go in and say, okay, now that we've added the ability to change currencies, you should display the results in the alternate currency by calculating the different rate. If we do that, it'll work. So let's have a look here if it's fixed the button. Okay, so no, it's done it wrong again. Please use a white fill in the button instead of the grey. Let's see if that works. Let's see what it does. Oh, it's still going. I should wait. Whoa, okay. Yeah, so I've totally broken it. So what I'll do is now that I've broken it, and I'm not going to pretend I did that on purpose, I didn't. Let's roll back to this one. Uh, This is actually good because it's showing you what to expect when you're using AI to build a prototype or to build a proof of concept or MVP one of your app. It is hit and miss, but it definitely works a lot faster than what you would be used to building anything with developers and the usual approach. So yeah, let's wrap up for today, and I'll definitely create more videos on this topic. We'll probably look at V0, how to use V0 in the next video, and how to use them in conjunction. And we can have a look at some of these other attempts, other products I've worked on in here, and possibly even do one from scratch. So yeah, that's all for today.